Hey Halifax, I'm Brenda K with the Halifax Home Selling Group, and this is the sweet Miss Frankie who's here with me every day. And if you find value in my video, hit subscribe. You'll get one in your inbox every Thursday. And thank you so much for watching. So let's get started. What is she talking about with caveman? Okay, so since the dawn of time, which is the caveman, they needed 5 or 6 basic things. They could not survive without them. There was food, water, oxygen, reproduction, aka sex, and shelter. And why am I bringing it up? Because I want to talk about the market and what's going on, because there are so many questions. These are the 3 questions I'm getting. Are we crashing? Are prices dropping? Will I lose money if I buy a home now? Okay, so now we know people, man, woman, always need shelter. So you know what? Real estate is always going to trade. There's no question. In 1981, the interest rate was 17.93%. People traded real estate. Obviously, it was a buyer's market, but here's the thing, they were still trading real estate. In 1984, when we bought our first home, the interest rate was 13%. You know, the home was $80,000. At 13%, 6 months ago when the rates were, say, 3.5, I could have got $350,000 house for the same price. Will they ever go that crazy again? Absolutely not. You couldn't. I'd be living in a tent. Like, they just cannot go, that high. But I do want to talk about something a little more recent. And this is some really interesting numbers. 2006, the interest rate was 7.96. The discount rate, which is what they would post both then, was 5.96. 5.96, that was the discount. So the posted rate of 7.96, that's what you were qualifying on. It's pretty much the same as today, but let's take a look at the numbers. Here's what blows my mind. In 2006, there were 6,215 homes sold. Okay, in 2019, this was pre-pandemic, okay? So we had interest rates in around the high 3s. There were 6,561 homes sold. You see, people will always buy real estate. Real estate, a lot of it is speculation. How long are you gonna stay there? If you're gonna flip a home, you better get it at a darn good price, because you're not going to make good money on it once the interest rates start to rise. Well, I suppose if you're gonna flip the home, no, let me go back on that. If you're gonna flip the home as a business, okay, as a business, that's a different story. But what David and I were doing back in the early 80s, we would buy one, we'd stay in it a year and a half, we'd do a little bit of work on it, and then we'd sell it, we made money. And do you know, when the interest rates are were 13 and 14%, we were actually making money and getting ahead on our homes. And the thing is, like right now, the average days on market last week was 21. We're not in the frenzy anymore. There's no question. So what's gonna happen now? All right? Now we're what I call normalizing. So what was happening is the prices were being listed, they were accelerating, okay? They're decelerating now. So I'm gonna give you an example. There was one listed in Sackville, pre-pandemic, all the frenzy and everything. They bought it in the high 270s, probably would have sold it, probably would have sold it this year if the market had never changed, at about 369. The houses in the last 6 months, 7 months were being listed in the high 4s, and they were going in the mid 5s. So listing 489, selling for 540. So what happens here, we list at the 489 or 490, and buyers are coming in at 489, 490. So, I mean, there's a few realtors out there, they're still trying to play the game, put it low, hope it goes high. So now, back to the 3 questions, okay. Are we crashing? Absolutely not. You gotta remember, we're not Toronto, we're not Vancouver, we're Halifax. Halifax is seeing an unprecedented amount of growth. We still are. We've got a lot of immigration. My God, people. Look in the skies. There's like 7 cranes in Halifax. I've lived here my whole life. I've been doing business, well, we won't say a whole day, a lot of years. Let's just say a lot of years. Never can you look across the skyline and see 6, 7, 8 cranes. Crashing? No. So that's question number 1. Are the prices gonna drop? They don't have to. The prices are, like I said, they're normalizing, but they're not gonna go back, or there's no evidence to support that they're gonna go back to pre-pandemic. And like I said, just one in Sackville there last week. You know, if we had never had that frenzy at the average 4% growth we used to get per year, that house would have been listed for about $369. But again, it was listed in the high fours. So what we're doing is we're going back and we're looking at things that sold within the last 6 months, rationalizing like, okay, this is where they're listed, this is where they're sold. And now we're saying, okay, we know they're not going to go there, which we used to go by that number, kind of going with the list price there. So price is going to drop? No. They're going to normalize? Yes. Big one. Will I lose money if I buy a home? You know what? I mean, again, the real estate market is speculative. It's like the stock market. We don't have a crystal ball. Nobody can look in it and see what's going on. Here's the thing. An average home ownership is 5 to 7 years. You know, if you live in the house, like we're not going to see the 30% increases. We're going to probably go back down and average out anywhere from a 4 to 8%, I'd say the first couple of years. And we may even settle back into about a 4 to 5% of growth every year. Will you lose money on your house? If you buy, no, you won't. If you stay in your house, the average is 5 to 7 years. Should you have enough equity to move up to your next home? Absolutely, you should. Here's the other thing, like, will you lose money if you choose to rent at $2,500 again for the next 5 years instead of buying? Well, I'll guarantee you one thing, you're not gonna get that money back again. So buying a home, no matter what the interest rate is, the median age of buyers right now in Canada, largest segment of buyers right now, are the median age of 36. They're going to buy. The apartments out there right now, like the newer apartments, they're getting up to 26, 27. There's one building's $3,800 a month that I was going, I mean, it's gorgeous, but can you imagine? And guess what? It's full. The building's full. So the first-time home buyers, or the average age, I should say 36, they are always going to be driving the market for buying. The other thing that will be driving the market still for the next few years is we have the baby boomers. Baby boomers are selling. So there's where the inventory is going to come to support the 36-year-olds out there buying or the new construction. So are the interest rates going to affect you? Absolutely. How are they going to affect you? Well, it's going to affect your budget, but that doesn't mean you're not going to buy. You know, everybody wants to own a home. They really, really do. And owning a home is the great Canadian dream. So can we find you homes out there within your budget at these interest rates? That's a good home. You're going to be safe, secure with your family. You're going to make some money when you go to sell it in 5 to 7 years. You're darn tootin'. We can do that. So there's my answers to those 3 questions I'm getting all the time. You now know the Caveman's 5 basic needs. I'm Brenda K. This is the sweet Miss Frankie, and thank you again so much for watching our videos. Please hit subscribe and ding ding, the bell will tell you when there's a new one coming. Cheers.